Happy Friday. Are you guys ready for the best show ever? And
happy almost Valentine's Day.
Oh, man. Welcome to Day Night with Connie and Chrissy. I'm your host, Connie Henriquez, and my crazy co-host, Chrissy Bode.
What's up? Happy pre-Valentine's Day, everybody.
Can you imagine it's already Valentine's Day?
I know.
What is that about?
I don't know. At least you have your soulmate.
I do. Thank God.
Congratulations.
I'm only kidding.
Congrats to you and Joseph.
Listen, thank you.
You're welcome.
Being single's great and having a boyfriend's great. They're both equally great.
I'm happy.
And Valentine's Day should be like a fun day to like just do whatever.
I am. Think? We're going to be doing our Attract Your Soulmate workshop.
We're going to be hanging out on Valentine's Day.
So make sure you sign up at longislandmeetup.com, Date Night with Connie and Chrissy.
If you're local.
It's only $25. Come on.
That's it. It's a steal. Come on, peeps.
I mean, I would pay my whole life savings to learn how to attract my soulmate.
You would. I know.
I really would.
And most people that are really serious about it would too.
All right. So sign up, guys.
If you're serious about finding your soulmate, sign up.
That's right. And we have our expert here today to help us do that.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, tell us who our guest is before we go over the event that we were just at.
We have the beautiful Lisa Marie Hayes, and she is the author of the Score Your Soulmate book, which I was starting to read, which is great. Really? It's really great, yeah. Okay. And she's going to go over a lot of the techniques on how to attract your soulmate.
I love it.
What do we have, a day? I have a day. I have a day to attract my soulmate, Lisa.
But even if you found your soulmate today, would you really want to hang out with him on Valentine's Day?
Yes, I would.
Even though it's so short?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah. If you met Joseph the day before Valentine's Day, wouldn't you? And he asked you to hang out?
I would.
Okay. All right. See? Lisa's going to help me.
That was a little different, though.
But she is a law of attraction love coach.
Which we love law of attraction, and we love coaches.
That's our favorite subject. So she is called the Love Whisperer, which I can't wait.
I love it. I think that's such a cool title.
It is a cool title. Like the Dog Whisperer, now we got the Love
Whisperer. I know, like
Cesar
Milan, you're right.
I know. I love that.
I love
I'm going to hire her to come. I'm going to ship her here and help me.
And she can help.
It's going to be like Cesar Milan when he walks around the dog. She's going to be walking me around on a leash. All right, Chrissy, go do this. Go do that. That would be great, though.
That would be great. I love it.
She'll zap me.
I'll record it.
She'll zap me if I pick the wrong guy again. You're picking the non-committal guy.
I want to sometimes zap her when she's picking the wrong guy.
You should. My brother-in-law used to have the collar for their dog.
Really?
Yeah, and zap the poor dog. Aww. The dog would go into shock.
Was it a Chihuahua?
Yeah, that's what you have.
I know.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's torture, guys.
Yeah.
That's
called training.
That's brutality, guys.
It's called training.
I'm calling social services on you.
So, dude, what about that event we just were at two nights ago? How awesome was that?
Team Nico.
Team Nico, shout out to you guys.
We were at a fundraiser. Great turnout.
It was really great.
Amazing comedians at the Brokerage Club. Oh, my God. We had Vic DiBattista, who I always wanted to meet. I love him. He's the funniest guy ever. The milk and bread guy during Hurricane Sandy.
What do you mean?
That's the guy that did the milk and bread
really?
YouTube video, and it went viral.
Okay.
That's how he became famous.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Because you know how everyone bugs out, oh my God, I gotta get milk and bread, I gotta get milk and bread. He did a video on YouTube and then it went viral.
I love it.
Wasn't he hysterical?
He was hysterical. There was a bunch of really funny comedians, which I was actually pretty shocked.
And one of them we're having on our show, Brian McKenna.
We are, that's right. And he's going to be on Sunday at McGuire's, I believe.
Yes, on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna go stalk him and what was the other guy? John Ziegler?
Yes.
We're having him on the show as well.
Yes, we're excited about that.
We're going to stalk them on Valentine's.
So, yeah, and we actually have pictures from that night. So, Vic, if you want to pull up the pictures.
Wesley Walker was in the house with us.
We were hanging out with Wesley, who's amazing, and we love him.
That's right. And he's a part of the Date Night fam now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we were able to pull up the pictures.
And we ran into, which are we up to? Did you put on Maureen? We ran into Maureen.
Actually, that's the other thing is, we ran into Maureen Tara Nelson, who's the Long Island matchmaker.
That's right.
And it's always great to see her.
I know. She was great. She's so nice.
Mm-hmm. She was there with her family. And
Wesley, we love you, Wesley. Yes. Wesley, my man.
And DJ Chef.
Oh, DJ Chef. How could I forget DJ Chef?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's Vic. There's Vic DiBattista. Wait, did we show Brian? Oh, there we are. Brian McKenna.
Yes, that's right.
Is it John? Am I saying the right name? John Ziegler?
John Ziegler? I feel like you are.
All right.
I feel like you are, yes.
They were great.
They were super funny.
There's Wesley, DJ Chef, and Vic DiBattista.
Yes.
Great turnout for Team Nico.
Yeah.
An adorable kid.
Yeah.
It was a fundraiser for Nico.
Fundraiser for Nico has a very loving, amazing family.
Oh my God, I love his mother.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's
We
beautiful.
love you. Team Nico.
Yeah,
we love
we
you.
had a great time. So, dude, you ready for my Start Loving Life tip of the day?
Heck yeah, we want to get to Lisa.
Yeah, so my Start Loving Life tip of the day is focus on where you are going, not where you have been. What do you think about that?
I think a lot of people focus on the past.
It's so true.
Yep.
It is so
They
true.
dwell on the past. And
yeah, and when you think about it, the past really means diddly squat. Diddly squat means
people don't know how to do that.
Right, and who you are now is a culmination of all that past crap.
Yep.
So think about it. If you were to focus on where you're going, which is where you want to be, you would have such a much more fun. You would have so much more fun in life,
Right.
than focus on your past.
But a lot of people get stuck in the past.
Right. So you want to be clear about what you want and what you're moving towards.
That's what our workshop is about. If you'll pay the
Exactly.
$25, you'll learn all this.
I love it. Right. So if you focus on where you're going, you'll be excited about moving forward and inspired to the action that will get you there, and it'll be so much more easier than you could even imagine.
Yep. That's right. Forget the past. It's crap.
Screw it.
There's
Screw
better
it.
things ahead. Better things ahead.
Exactly. So, dude, what's your
And
bestie for the week?
This might be, I know I say it, I might say it every week. The viewers at home might be like, she says that every week. My bestie of the week, this is just in time for Valentine's Day, but if you've been dumped recently,
Who hasn't?
if somebody just broke your heart, then I have the perfect gift for you. You're going to go to dirtyrottenflowers.com. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to send a little reminder to your ex, all right, for all the good times. And I say that in quotes, good times.
Right.
So do we have the pictures up? You could send them a bouquet, a lovely bouquet.
love this one. This is
that was my
great.
favorite one. Go back.
That was great.
That was my favorite bouquet. It's only $30. It's called the I Love You Not bouquet.
a
And
bunch
it comes
of dead
with
roses.
beautiful stuffed animal with the stuffing coming out of it. It's ripped apart.
I love it.
That's my favorite bouquet. So you could send your ex-loved one that broke your heart dead flowers.
As a
and-
final screw you.
As a final, hey, screw you, I'm going to do better than you. All right? Happy Valentine's Day. How about that? And it's only $29. And it comes in a lovely box, actually.
Oh.
And whoever invented this,
It's
I
genius.
want to get them on the show.
Right.
Because I wish I would have thought of this. This is something I would have thought of.
Chrissy wants to think of every
I
bestie
do.
that we have every
But,
week.
oh, no, did I say the right thing? Dirty Rotten Flowers. Dirty Rotten Flowers. And you can find them on Facebook as well. But what a great idea, right?
I
Right
think it's
before
genius,
Valentine's
yes.
Day. If I got that, I would be laughing. I would think it's great.
Right. Now, wouldn't you be like, oh my God, how hysterical is that?
I'm like, oh, thanks for thinking of me. At least I got some sort of flowers.
Right,
They're
exactly.
dead, but at least I got flowers on Valentine's
But
Day.
now, let me see this. Would you then think that the person was still interested in you if they took the time to order you flowers?
I would think that they're bitter.
But they also paid money to send you dead
Correct.
flowers. That
They're
actually
bitter.
is a different sign.
They're
Well,
thinking of you.
yes,
They're thinking of you.
Exactly. So do you think
Which is, we're going to ask Lisa, is that a good sign? I'm gonna
Right, exactly. Well, if someone's thinking about you, right, I feel like that's a good sign.
I hope I get a bouquet. Somebody out there send me the I
will
Love You
send you
Not.
dead
It's only
flowers.
$30. I'll take the unstuffed teddy bear that says I love you.
I love it.
Would you ever send anybody that?
I wouldn't, because then you're showing them that I really care about you, because I wouldn't waste my time sending you flowers then, right?
All right.
And paying $30.
All right. You're right. But it is a funny idea.
I think it's a genius
like, even if you
idea.
get
I
into a
love
fight
it.
with your loved one,
I love it.
I was reading reviews on her website.
Right.
If you get into a fight with your loved one, people were
Right.
sending it. Like
I
if
love
they
it,
if
yeah.
they forgot about an anniversary,
Right.
the guy sent to his wife the
Right.
dead flowers. That's funny.
I
If
think
you have
it's
that
very
type of
funny.
relationship,
I agree.
I would want somebody funny. I would want that.
I would send you dead flowers.
Thank you. You're going to send them to me at the end of our partnership. Thanks for nothing. Here's your dead bouquet. All right. Well, thanks, Connie. I'll take that as a
I
compliment.
would never send you dead flowers. Come on.
I know. You're too positive for that. All right, so we have Lisa Marie Hayes here. She's going
Yeah.
to show us how to attract our soulmate
Yep.
in a 24 hours. before
Yeah. We got
Valentine's.
24 hours to track the soulmate.
I can't wait. And I love her book. You should go out and get it. It's the Score Your Soulmate book, and you can get it on Amazon as
We
well.
love Amazon. Okay,
So make sure
perfect.
you go purchase that as well.
All right, cool. All right, so we're going to be back, right?
That's right. We'll be back with Lisa. Grab a
Yeah.
Tito. Date night.
And we're going to break in a few minutes.
All right.
I love us.
Cheers.
There we go. Cheers.
You and Jeff doing anything good for Valentine's Day?
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. You don't even know you're on the ball list, so you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
What are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you a very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me
What
something.
do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well-
That's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well. You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sir, hey, are you interested?
Twisted
or not?
talent.
See, you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to during a commercial break punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
With the love whisperer, Lisa
Yeah.
Marie Hayes.
Hey, Lisa.
I wanted to always introduce somebody like that. Hey, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. You're our favorite guest so far.
Nice.
She says that's every guest, but we still love
No,
you.
but I'm into this
Okay,
stuff.
I'll take it for right now. I'm the favorite guest right now.
That's right. I love the law of attraction, and I love love. So this is my favorite subject. So when somebody comes to you for the first time and they're stuck trying to find their soulmate or the one, whatever, what is the process, or what's the first thing that you walk them through in trying to obtain that?
You know, oftentimes people are rolling too fast. Like, they're going from one person to another person to another person. They're kind of doing dating like a competition sport. Like, usually the first thing we do is stop dating for a little while.
Right.
Put the brakes on that and take a little bit of time to really nail your self-care, really get your energy up where you want it to be so you can be your best version of yourself when you hit the market.
Right.
And take the time to really look at the lessons that you've learned through all of your previous dating, because we've all got a bunch. Like, I literally had a book full of lessons that I had learned in my dating life. But if we don't slow the roll down a little bit, it's super easy just to keep going, repeating the same mistakes, getting more tired, more frustrated, and not actually making progress. So the first step usually is no step at all. Like, let's just stop this train for a minute and catch our breaths and make sure that we've learned the lessons that we need to learn here.
That makes sense.
I love it. So it's basically, Lisa, get a life first. And
that's all of it. That's really the sum total of it. I mean, I think that we talk so much about, I'm really famous for saying I found my husband because I never gave up. But fundamentally, I probably found my husband because I did give up for a while. Like, I stopped and got a life first, which made me more attractive and probably put me in a better position to attract a man that I was really going to enjoy spending time with.
Right. You talk about that in your book. You say to get a brag-worthy life.
Right.
Nice.
I had been single for a long time when I met David, and I can't say fully single because I was dating. Like, I was not having difficulty finding somebody to date. I was having difficulty finding somebody to date who maybe wasn't the Walmart greeter. I joke a little, but not so much. Like, nothing that there's really wrong with Walmart greeters, but I wasn't picking up men that I really wanted to spend time with. I could find them, but I wasn't getting good quality men.
Right.
And so when I finally decided to stop, it was just like, all right, if I'm going to be single, like, let's nail it. Let's totally nail being single. And that brag-worthy or swoon-worthy life, like, I'm going to work on what I've got going on here first so that I'm really rocking it and I feel good about what I'm doing. And that really does put you in a much stronger position to date, because then you're not needy. It's not graspy. It's not like, oh, I need this so that I can feel better about myself or that I can be more passionate or more excited. Like, you're doing that passion and the excitement on your own, and you're way less likely to settle for something that's not really good for you, or that maybe not be your best options. So you're more powerful from that place.
So, Lisa, what would you suggest to someone who is not having any luck with finding love?
Law of attraction coach, right? Like, I'm going to talk about alignment, of course.
We love that. That's my favorite.
Bring it on.
Alignment. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, and I think alignment, I actually like the word activation also. Like, alignment and activation are really similar, but there's a different vibe about those two words. If somebody's really looking and they're not having any luck at all, the first thing that I would do is, let's get real clear about what you're looking for, because sometimes people aren't super clear about what they're looking for.
True.
Like, they want to be in relationship, or they're looking for things that don't really nail it when it comes to long-term relationships. I've had clients come to me and they're like, I want a guy who's 6'3", and he needs to be an Aries, and I want him to be in this profession. And it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but those things aren't necessarily indicative of a soulmate relationship. Like, you can want those things, but they may not be the things that we want you to be looking at. So the first thing we would do is get super clear about what I call scoreable things. What is it that you want? And I ask people to put together a list of 20 items so that we're really clear about what somebody is really looking for.
Okay.
And that clarity, even that process is really interesting. I was working with a client a few days ago, and I asked her to do her list of 20, and she could come up with 4. And so what that tells me is she's had a pattern of letting anything through the door, right? And then some people, you ask them to put together a list of 20, and they're like, what are you talking about? I have 216 things on my list. I know that person isn't letting anybody through the door, like way too picky or way too loose around the edges with what they're looking for. So, I mean, 20 is a nice number, and we can get a lot of information by how hard or easy 20 is in either direction.
And how important is it to go back and have your clients go back and think about past relationships and make a list of all the, reoccurring things that they've had in every relationship?
Because I think sometimes if we don't take the pause, right, to be honest about that, we miss patterns. Like they say you date the same guy over and over again. I didn't date this. I dated a wide variety of men, but I ended up with like the same problems, the same kinds of challenges in these relationships with these men who were very different. It's like I was the common denominator in all of those experiences. And so I will very often ask my clients, it's like, I want you to go back and make a list of things that you learned in your, like, not every relationship maybe, but your top 3 or top 5 most intimate and impactful relationships. What did you learn from those relationships? And oftentimes there's overlap. Like they'll go back and they'll be like, ooh, I should have picked it up after that one because then I did it again and then I did it again. But secondly, then we make what I would call a list of absolutes. Like, here's a list of things I will no longer ever tolerate again. And it's such a revolutionary thing because you think that's obvious, but until you get it down on paper and you look at it, oftentimes people miss that entirely. And not everybody's lists of absolutes are the same. They're not, sure, most of us don't want to be with somebody who's going to cheat. That should be an obvious absolute. Right. But I'm not ever going to be with somebody who's going to yell at me. But lots of couples, like, they fight and they're passionate and they yell. Like, so knowing your absolutes based on the lessons that you've learned from your most impactful relationships gives you a foundation that allows you to recognize the red flags really quickly.
That's a great point. Because most people wouldn't ever think to do that. They'll just pick the same person over and over again and wonder, why do I keep finding an immature guy, a selfish guy, and this?
Right. So, Lisa, what do you suggest to a client, per se, that is constantly attracting the wrong person? And so you're giving this feedback. And so basically they are not open to adding other things on their list in terms of things that they want.
Good luck.
That was good.
Do you really say good luck and like adios?
Good luck. I'll take $200 for that.
$250. Thank you very much.
All right.
That feedback loop. You used to use the word feedback, and I like that word feedback because one of the things people always ask is, how do I tell what my vibration is anyway? Like, what do I know what my alignment vibration is? It's like you're getting constant feedback. And a lot of people really like their patterns. Like, I want this person, I want it this way, I want this guy, I want this woman, I want it to look like this. And they get the same kinds of feedback over and over again. Like, that it's your rodeo, because the only thing we've got any control over is us, our approach, our thoughts, what we're willing to tolerate, what we want to shoot for. We control us, and if we're not willing to shift the way we're looking at something and change our internal approach to that, then you are going to get that same feedback over and over again. The change always starts with me. And every relationship that I have is just a reflection of kind of my starting point in that that interaction.
So what are some techniques that people should start doing to try to attract what they're wanting? Say they make the list of everything that they want in a partner. Now, how do they go about applying that to attract it?
This is my favorite part, right?
Yeah.
I think you make that list and you really look at it. And a scoreable list, let's look at some things that might be on a scoreable list. I want my partner to have a sense of adventure. I want my partner to have a deep sense of spirituality. I want my partner to have their money stuff together and be successful and secure in their finances. I want my partner to be hot and taking care of themselves and showing up really confidently. The very first thing you do once you make that very scoreable list is you go back and check yourself.
I like that.
The law of attraction says that we attract what we are.
That's true.
You get what you're putting out there. So if I want somebody who's really adventurous, but I'm not willing to be spontaneous and live adventuresome life, do have those experiences, I'm not in alignment with that. So I'm saying something, I want something that I'm not nurturing that energy within my life right now. I'm not going to attract that, because we attract what we are, not what we want. You can't want something bad enough to get it. You get what you focus on.
True.
And so, if I want adventure, I need to go get myself in alignment by that, with that, by doing adventure. If I want somebody who's financially secure and set, I need to deal with my money vibration. If I want somebody who's hot and passionate, then I need to make sure I'm feeling hot and passionate. I mean, once you get that list, your work really is in scoring yourself first against your list, figuring out where you score on that sort of sliding scale, and perpetually getting your score up. I mean, when you do a 20-point list, a perfect score is 200. And I like to tell my clients, I don't even like them dating. Like, don't go out there. Do not date until you're at about a 180.
Wow.
Like, anything below that 180 mark, you're not really in alignment enough with what you want to attract to get what you're saying that you want anyway. And actually, there's a middle point. Can we talk about, like, the danger zone on that list?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's talk about the danger zone. Go for it, Lisa.
If you are close, or if you meet somebody who's close, right? Because you can score other people against this list also. So if you're in the 150 to 180 range, that's dangerous. Because you're close enough, you can trick yourself into thinking that you're attracting things that are working. Like if you're rocking your vibe, and you meet a guy, and that guy, you do the score after a couple weeks, you know him well enough, and you're doing your math, right? And you're like, ooh, he's a 160. Right? Like, you need to run from that, because that's good enough that you will either convince yourself he looks right on paper, but the chemistry's not there.
Okay.
So you're trying really hard to make it work, but it's kind of flat. It would either be that, or it's going to be like fiery and passionate, but you're fighting all the time and it won't work because it's close, but it's not close enough.
I like that. So wait, what is the actual, how do they keep score? What is the process of doing that?
So you get your list of 20 things, right?
Okay.
And like I said, the first thing you do is you score yourself. So it's a 1 to 10 scale on each one of those items on that list. So like I said, your perfect score is 200, and that's a tall order. I mean, if I was to do it again today, I probably wouldn't get a perfect 200 score, but I probably would be 180 or above, I'm guessing.
Right.
And I mean, you make your list, you score yourself, but that also gives you a tool or a measurement standard by which to score people that you meet. So you meet somebody new. I mean, I don't necessarily advocate for scoring on the first date or the second date, but after you kind of know them for a couple weeks, you can run the score on them too, and it lets you know, like, is this your person? If that person's hot and he's successful, but he's still scoring out at 120, that's a no-go. And you're probably not going to feel anything for him. If he's hot and he's successful and he scores out at a 185 on your list, that's it. That's fireworks. That lets you know that you're in really strong alignment with what you wanted to attract in your life, and there's a lot of resonance there.
So how can you walk us through how somebody can raise their vibration to get into alignment if they're struggling in that department?
Yeah.
Say they're doing the vision board. They're visualizing at night. They feel like they're trying everything that The Secret said and all law of attraction has told you, but they're still not getting the results.
Right. And as far as law of attraction coaches go, I kind of see this a little bit differently. Like, I like the vision board as much as everybody else, but let's face it, your vision board ends up in the back of your closet.
Yep.
Like,
that's where mine is. Lisa, how'd you know?
I thought it was in your trunk.
Because I have one in the back of my closet, girlfriend.
I have 2 in there.
You had a lot of fun. You ripped up the magazines. You put it together. I mean, I think law of attraction people tend to get really up in their heads, right? Like, visualize it, do the vision board, meditate, you're going to hum, you're going to whatever. I don't say your
dance around naked.
Dance around. That's not bad. I like all these things.
Chanting with my Tito.
I like the inside work, that inside your head work, but I also really like the outside work too. And a lot of law of attraction people don't talk about this. Like, one of the things that was on my list, I had dated a lot of guys that weren't making very much money or any money. I used to joke about how I did my social service through my dating work for a long time. And so I'm not afraid to admit, like, I wanted to attract somebody who had their financial pieces in order. But my score at that time in my life in that department was lower than I wanted it to be. So rather than sitting around and doing a vision board on money and success, like, I got myself out in the world and I put myself in places where I could experience and kind of absorb that energy. I used to go down to the, like, all of the German car dealerships in my area got sick of seeing me because I'd go test drive a Beamer or test drive the Mercedes, and I'd walk through the neighborhoods that I wanted to live in and sit in the lobbies of swanky hotels and be in that energy. Rather than trying to conjure it up in my head from scratch with a flat vision board, I got out in the three-dimensional world and really found as many ways as I could to surround myself with the energy of money and wealth and prosperity. I bought magazines that I thought somebody who had money would have sitting in their house. Like, really looking at what this sort of big, wide world offers us and getting out and playing with the energy that you want to attract raises your vibration in those areas really quickly. It's a lot easier than trying to meditate yourself there.
I love that.
It's a great
I want to go test drive an Audi convertible tomorrow.
You want to hear a funny story about an Audi, right?
Yeah.
We love it.
That's the car I want. That's my dream car.
I had test driven, like I said, every German sports car on the market. And I mean, I'm a car girl. I love the smell of the leather. Like, nothing smells like car leather. It's amazing. And in my mind, that said money. Like, that smell, that experience. And some people will say that's materialistic or whatever. I don't care, because I'm only playing with my mind. That's the tool I've got. So when I met my husband for our first date, we did the very safe, like, met at Barnes & Noble for coffee business.
Oh, wow.
And it went pretty well. So he was like, you want to go grab a bite? He's like, I'll drive. I was like, that sounds good. So we walked out to the parking lot at Barnes & Noble, and he had a brand spanking new Audi TT.
What?
And he had only had it for 2 weeks at that point. Like, we joke around between us, which one of us actually created that car?
I love that. Isn't that ironic?
That's hysterical.
That was her dream car, and then the guy that she met.
I love it. So, Lisa, what about the person? So she makes her list, and she gets really clear about what she wants. So what is the next step after that?
She needs to go become that list.
Okay.
She really does. And the interesting thing about that is, I mean, I met David on Match, so I'm a fan of online dating.
We love
I'm not that chick
Match.com.
who's like, I don't like
Connie
it.
doesn't.
I like it a lot. But chances are very high, actually, that if you are going out and doing your thing, you're getting your score up. I mean, we'll go back to travel as an example. If somebody has a high value for somebody who was going to travel with them, you go out and travel, you spend time with people who do those kinds of things, you're pretty likely to meet somebody who shares those interests with you.
That's true.
You look at that list, that what you've got in front of you is kind of like a real world roadmap, probably that's going to put you in proximity of the kinds of people that you would want to attract, if not your soulmate. So by looking at that list and really detail by detail saying, okay, money, check, I'm going to go drive cars. Adventure, check, I'm going to go sailing next weekend. Spirituality, check, I'm going to go to yoga, and then I'm going to go to the meditation class, or I'm going to go to church, or whatever. Like, in that process of getting your alignment up, very often people meet someone along the way of living their ideal life, which sounds so freaking cheesy, right? Go live your ideal life, but it's true. We're oftentimes living really flat. Like, we have these ideals for ourselves, but we're not really living those ideals. But when you get out and really do it, you're going to bump in to people that share those values and those interests with you, and you're quite likely to find somebody.
And Lisa, what do you suggest to someone who's already in a relationship, who's never done any of what you said, and perhaps is unhappy? What do you suggest to them?
I would suggest the same thing. to be honest. I mean, the same things happen. The same. You need to know anyway, right? Like you need, and a lot of people do get into relationships, I would say, by default, and then they find themselves weeks, months, or years later going, "What happened here?" You still need the clarity if you're ever going to get beyond that. So I would still say do the process. Go back through. In fact, I last week was working with a married woman on this very thing, and she had a lot of fear around that. Like, if I figure out what I want and it's not him, then what? And it's like, I don't even care about him right now. Like, figure out what you want, and we want you to be that. Like, you start shifting and changing your life. You start shifting and changing your approach. You start shifting and changing how you invest in yourself, and then we'll see what he does. I mean, maybe he comes to meet you kind of in that new playing field that you create. Maybe he doesn't. But you start with you. The same rules apply, whether you're in relationship or not. You start with you.
And what do you think is the biggest problem where people run into when they're trying to manifest their soulmate? Why are they not manifesting it? What do you find is the biggest issue with clients?
Biggest challenge.
I call it unicorn syndrome, right?
I saw that in your book. I like that. That was cute.
When you're trying to manifest something you don't believe exists. Like, yeah, I want a unicorn. I don't have one. Like, I don't believe unicorns exist.
Yep.
And I talk to clients all the time who are like, I want a really hot guy who's really sweet and he's loyal and he's whatever, or woman. I mean, both men and women go through this.
Right.
Where they're trying to manifest something that are attract someone that they really don't believe exists out there. And you're not going to find it. I mean, all we do in life is we perpetually kind of prove our own beliefs to ourselves.
Right.
And if you're out there dating and you really want to be in a relationship, but you think all men are dogs, or all the good ones are gone, or they're all players, or women are what, I mean, all of those things, you're going to prove that to yourself again and again and again. So when somebody is out there and they're really bouncing around, not getting the results, the very first thing I would look at is that. It's like, what level of unicorn syndrome are we dealing with here?
Right.
Because if you believe you're worthy and you believe that this exists, it shouldn't be that hard to find.
Okay. And that's important. Let's talk about that, self-worthiness. So what are the steps that you take them through then if they're struggling with the belief part?
You know, worthiness, like we toss around these phrases, right? Like worthiness and self-love and all of these sort of new agey personal development kind of phrases that you hear all the time. And I get asked that question a lot. You know, what if I don't love myself? I don't even know what that means. It's like sometimes you have to like bring it back to the behavior, literally. Like the first thing you have to start doing is treat yourself like someone you love. Take care of yourself like somebody who's worthy of love. Start behaving like somebody who's worthy of your respect.
I love that.
And sometimes when it gets down to that very basic level, we really do have to lead with behavior. And fundamentally, I think that's what love is anyway. Like, love is a verb. It's an action word. It's a whole bunch of behaviors, much more than it is a feeling. And so when we're talking about self-love, self-worth, self-respect, you have to treat yourself like someone else that you would treat the way you would treat someone else that you love.
I love that. And we're going to just take a quick commercial break on that beautiful note that you just said, and we'll be right back with the Love Whisperer, Lisa Hayes. She's going to attract our soulmate before Valentine's Day.
24 hours.
We have 24 hours.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhousetv, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhousetv. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly used in Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
We are the Stylistics Review, and you're watching Madhousetv.com.
With the Love Whisperer.
That's right, we're back.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
All right, so good, Connie.
All right, so Lisa, apparently very often we have clients or an audience member that constantly dates someone who's not right for them, aka like a loser. And it goes both ways, female.
Who's going to
male.
get the dirty,
Right.
rotten roses from
Right.
me over the weekend?
So what is your advice for someone who keeps attracting the same type of person that's not ideal for them?
I mean, we're talking about this a little bit before the break, but I think a lot of times that does come back to self-worth.
Yes.
I mean, you get in life in general, in relationships and jobs and friendships, all of it, like we get what we settle for. And the word settle isn't necessarily bad. If you've got really high standards, you're settling with really high expectations. But I mean, we get what we settle for. And so when you're seeing that repeating pattern of dating losers, and I know this pattern really well because I played this game for a long time, it really does come down to self-worth and self-value. And would I have admitted that? Like, I don't know. I mean, my girlfriends kept saying to me, what are you doing? Like, you're better than this guy or you're better than that guy. And I don't necessarily think that we're better than anybody, but I did have a pattern of dating down. And so...
Oh, I like that, dating down.
I think you've said that to me before.
Oh, no.
Connie has used that before.
Yeah, go ahead.
That pattern of dating down really does come down to, I see this happening for other people, but I don't necessarily believe it's ever going to happen to me. Mm-hmm. And every time it doesn't happen, your self-worth, and it's not like an overall self-worth. I know women and men actually who see themselves very strongly in their careers, very strongly in their friendships, but when it comes to relationships, every time it goes wrong, that level of self-worth comes down a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Right.
So when I see somebody who's really repeating that dating down, dating the loser, dating the bad boy, dating the bitchy woman, dating whatever it is, like, I really look at self-worth, because basically what that person's doing is picking up the person that other people aren't. I mean, you're really kind of picking up what's getting left behind.
Wow.
And that has to do with what you think you deserve.
Wow. So how does somebody work on their self-worth?
Prove to yourself over and over and over again that you are worth more. I mean, in Law of Attractionville, right, like we always say, the universe can only treat you as well as you treat yourself.
Yeah.
And that sounds really airy-fairy, but it's really true. Like, you set the standard, so you have to start treating yourself the way you expect to be treated. You have to give yourself the best of everything, the way you would want from someone else. You need to elevate your standards in other areas of your life, like your friendships and your family relationships and your job and those kinds of, like, you bring those standards up incrementally all the way around. But you have to be willing to set the standard for yourself. And that sounds really obvious, but it's not. I mean, a lot of people live their entire lives based on standards that are set for them by someone else. And you really don't have any control over your self-worth when you're doing that. I call that outsourcing your feel-good or outsourcing your well-being. It's a really vulnerable place to be. So, I mean, for somebody who's never really thought that through and they start that process, it is incremental. I mean, it does not happen overnight where it's like all of a sudden you wake up and you're the queen of the world.
Right.
But it can happen faster than you think it would if you're willing to dedicate yourself to just perpetually upending those standards that you set for yourself over and over and over and over again.
How can somebody stay in a positive state of mind? Say, like you were saying before, you're seeing everybody else in a relationship, and you see everybody else, you you just see everybody, all your friends tied down, geting married in a relationship.
Tied down. I love how you said
whatever. Tied down, getting. It's a good thing.
That's a good.
And you feel like you're putting yourself out there, but you're still not attracting the right person, and it brings you in a bad place because you're feeling like, well, what's wrong? I don't understand.
Discouraged.
Right, you're getting hopeless, discouraged. How do you? Because in order to attract the right person, you got to be in a positive frame of mind. So how do you get yourself to feel positive and be positive on a daily basis when you're feeling discouraged and hopeless? Like I am, Lisa.
Fun, you're not doing it right.
Shoot.
And that's really important to know. Like, if you're not having fun, you can't attract from that place. But if you're kind of out there and you're miserable and you're a little angsty and you're lonely and you're worried or whatever it is, you can attract from that place, and you will attract somebody who's going to bring more of that stuff into your life anyway. If you're not feeling good about the dating process, that would be a time where I would seriously consider a dating detox.
Okay.
And I just wrote a blog post about this the other day, like 3 signs that you need a dating detox, one of which is, this sucks. Like, I am not having fun out here anymore.
Right. Like, say you're over online dating, you have a negative view about it, you would tell them, then get off of all of online dating. Like, don't do it.
Right. So, like, if dating sucks, you're not having fun, that's one sign you need a dating detox. If you are really back to that outsourcing your feel good, like, I'm dating because I need a man, because I want to feel secure, or I want to feel loved, that's a good sign that you need a dating detox. You need to pull yourself off the market. Or if you're kind of running sort of a victim-y cycle where you're still talking a lot about past relationships and what went wrong, or specifically how you were wronged, kind of, you probably need a dating detox at that point. But if it's not fun, then you stop. Like, go out and live your life. Back to that, I'm going to rock my single life. I'm just absolutely going to rock this out by myself until you're having fun again. And then wrap back around and consider bringing somebody into your life when you're living your life at its best, juiciest, most exciting place. That's where you want to attract from. And so if it's starting to feel like a drag, and that happens out there, Sorry about my phone. If it's
That's
starting
all
to feel like a drag.
You're getting a client right now. They're like, help me. I see the advice you're giving. I need you now.
If it's starting to feel like a drag, stop. And then go back and focus on you. Your self-care, your life, things that light you up. You're better off single and happy and thriving there than dating and struggling and looking for love when it feels like hard work.
That is the most beautiful advice I've ever heard. And in your book, you talk about desire stalking. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Desire stalking? What's that?
Because I like stalking, but I don't know if we're talking about the same type.
We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I mean, I think desire stalking is when you really decide what you want and you go out in the world and you find that energy.
I love that.
Anything that you're desiring, rather than sitting around thinking about how bad you want it and you don't have it, or thinking that, somebody else that you could attract is going to bring this energy into your life. Really come up with something that you want in your life, and even if you can't afford it, you can't actually find a way to make it work for you right now, you can still find all kinds of ways to expose yourself to that energy. So let's play with it a little bit. Like, what is something that might be on your list that you might desire?
I want somebody kind-hearted.
I do. I mean,
I do. Like a genuine soul.
Right. So I'll give you a client example of that, okay? I mean, I had a client who was, I want to say she was in Raleigh, might have been Baton Rouge, like one of those sort of medium-sized, smaller southern cities.
Okay.
And she had been an attorney in Chicago for years and years, and she moved down south, and she spent a lot of time working on getting her law firm started, and then she decided she was ready for a relationship, but she was having problems finding somebody, and kind-hearted was on her list.
No way. Nobody ever says that, I feel
really?
like.
Thank God, because there's so many other amazing
Cheers
qualities.
to that girl.
Why kind-hearted?
Because I want a nice soul. I want a good-hearted person.
Go ahead, Lisa.
So we talked about where you're going to find that energy. And there's a couple of places that she talked about looking for it. But what she ended up doing, which was interesting to me, first of all, she volunteered for a pet shelter.
Aww.
I did not see this woman as the kind of woman who was going to walk in and be like the pooper scooper at the Humane Society.
I love that.
And it didn't last very long. She ended up volunteering on a Habitat for Humanity build. That also surprised me because I did also not see her with a hammer. She met her husband on that build.
Wow.
The kinds of people who participate in Habitat, right? Like, they're kind-hearted, they're giving, they're out there for that reason.
Joining it, guys.
So she had that desire for that connection with somebody who was really loving and compassionate and kind-hearted.
That's a good point.
She put herself in the energy of that with other people who share that value. I mean, they were on that Habitat build for like 3 weekends before they were very clear that there was a connection.
So, Lisa, it seems like we know what Chrissy will be up to.
I'll be building houses, guys. If you want to find me on the construction site.
She may be walking some dogs as well along the way.
Or walking with some sheetrock on my back. Come help me, guys. Joseph, Connie, bring me some Tito's on the construction site. So, Lisa, just to wrap everything up, what are let's sum everything up. So if somebody's trying to attract their soulmate, what is the step-by-step, quick process, right, Connie?
Yeah.
Step number 1, probably we should start with dating detox, right? Pull it down and really evaluate. We talk about it like real estate, right? Like sometimes you got to take the house off the market for a little bit so
I love
that you can reevaluate the value before you put it back up on the market again.
That was good. I love that. Can you say that again? Say that again. I like that. That was so good that it needs repeating.
It is a lot like real estate, and it's an example that works really well. Like if a house has been on the market for too long, its value just starts to decline. Like the buyers see it as less valuable. The seller themselves starts to see it as less valuable. Sometimes you just got to take it off the market. You know, you put up a fresh coat of paint, you do your thing, and it's the same with dating. If you've been dating a lot and you're not getting the results that you want, sometimes you just take yourself off the market and you do your updates. And you go back and do the work. You review the lessons that you've learned in your past relationships, and you come up with your list of things that you will never tolerate again. And again, that sounds basic and simple, but it's not. And sometimes even just putting it down on paper allows your brain to let go. It's like, oh, she wrote it down. We're good now. She's going to remember that. Like, writing it down makes a lot of difference. But really come at your dating the second time or third or 23rd time around with a lot more clarity about what you've learned. That would be step number 1. Step number 2 is decide what it is you really want to attract. And aim for things that really matter, because as much as all of us women think 6'2" matters, it might not. Like, what matters is like hot and fiery, passionate chemistry. Like, that's what you're looking for. 2 is not the number. So come up with what you really, really want to attract. Make your list of things that you want to attract, and be really clear that you're putting things on that list that make a difference.
Okay.
That really might contribute to a soulmate connection. And then the big work is score yourself against your list.
Yeah.
So that you can see if you're in alignment with what you are trying to attract. I mean, chances are pretty high if you are at this point, if you have not found that person and you are scoring your list, you are not currently in alignment, or you would have found that person.
Very true.
So then you have a roadmap sitting in front of you. Here's my list. How am I going to bring my alignment up incrementally so that I am more likely to be able to attract and be in the company of the kind of person that I want to be with?
And what could be the quickest way for us to get into alignment before we go? The best, quickest way.
Get a life.
Because that's what people struggle with the most.
It sounds so cheesy, right? Like, go be happy. I tend to think the quickest way to get in alignment is really to dial down on self-care. Like, all of that energy that you're pushing out there, everything's out there, like reinvesting that energy back in yourself in terms of self-care that really matters is probably the most reliable shortcut to bringing up your vibration of any that I know. And change requires energy. I mean, self-care equates to energy.
Right.
And when we're trying to do something different, we need more energy than we would normally have. So I really think that the answer to that question probably is like double down, triple down, quadruple up on your self-care.
I love that. Where can everybody find you, Lisa?
LisaMHayes.com, or you can look at the book at scoreyoursoulmate.com, and it's available on Amazon and any place they sell books, and I would love to chat with you.
And you said you're offering something to our viewers, right? Some type of guide?
Speaking of self-care, I completely forgot about that, and it's funny because I was about to mention it. So good wraparound, girlfriend.
Thank you. Yes.
If you go to lisamhayes.com/get-the-goods.
Yeah. Get the goods. Lisa Hayes, thank you, the Love Whisperer. You better hire her. I'm going to hire her on Sunday.
We love Lisa. Thank you so much,
with
Lisa.
My Juggatitos.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks,
you were
everyone.
awesome.
We'll see you next week. Ciao.
Bye. Hire Lisa. I will.